Another way of looking at playing with money and taking it to the full impact is looking first at the freelance markets, where there are now 10 million, or it's actually 12, 14 million people on Elance and Odesk, and creating a loan for those working in the bottom of that pyramid. If you work for $1 per day, per hour, then you can maximum make $40 per week if you're lucky and you can sell all your time on a freelance portal. But then we looked at, okay, if we can give them a loan, because I'm in Denmark and Sweden, and Scandinavian countries, you get this free loan, you just get $1,000 to study basically. So we thought, but there's a big price on the money you get from the Danish government. It means that you have to pay 60% tax for life. It's actually a very expensive loan. Nobody talks about that. But if we could give them a fairly rated loan, so that they could go from $1 per hour to $8, $9 per hour, this is 800 times the earnings. Then they would for sure pay us back if we could design it right. So we were very lucky, and my partner, who's a former soldier, went to Iraq and Afghanistan, where while patrolling, he managed to find all these small web cafes, especially in Iraq. You've been there, yeah? He saw that just after Saddam Hussein was taken away, that people were flocking to the internet cafes, because of course he had closed that off. So now they were just sucking the knowledge. So he helped with some NATO money to build a small education program in that local city wherever in Iraq, and get 40,000 local government employees to just touch the miracle and get a little certificate that they tried the internet. But out of that, he developed this idea of coders trust, and then he's a hell of a sales guy, and he's just straight out amazing. If I was gay, I would jump him. Then he went to he looked at it, and the real miracle of this world it happened and started in Bangladesh with the microloans. So he basically somehow he convinced the Danish government to go with him, me, to help him out, and just have these, daily, weekly talks where we kind of massage the idea. And then he got Mohammed Yunus to invest in it as well. And that's now the business. Some of you saw the movie yesterday, but I can't play it enough. That's now, we're on our way to get 10,000 and 100,000 students on this platform.
In my country, there are many talented people who want to make a difference. And if they can work from their own home, they have a chance. They can earn money. They only need a laptop and access to the internet. And of course, guidance. Coders Trust give us a little amount of money and a perfect guideline to build our career. It will turn an overcrowded country into human resources. It will change my life and the whole development of our country. My name is Ila. I am 25 years old and I come from Dhaka in Bangladesh.
Yeah, so that's basically taking it to that next level where you take your lending business and you also do a little bit of really good stuff. And I think that's where, I also hear that quite some of you want to go in that direction. And of course do something like impact investment or stuff that makes sense. Yeah. Oh yeah. And that I think that's, if I should regret anything. I don't regret at all anything. But if I could have done something different, I would have tried to do this a little earlier. And Coders Trust is totally for profit. I want to be able to hire the best guys in the world. And it needs to have that drive of for profit while doing good. If I would have had the chance, I would have gone a little bit earlier into doing charity. I mean, it's good stuff, but I mean, I also did it. I told the story yesterday where about me investing in this plant once that is gene modified so it can detect TNT, and it will turn red if there's TNT in the soil. And we got all these prices, and I spent $2 million on it 10 years ago. The only problem after 2 years was that we forgot how do you plant this thing. If there's landmines, it's a little hard to plant stuff. But that's very classic. That's very classic me. But then underneath this, we're building all the infrastructure and the gateways through the existing banking infrastructure. But it's so boring. But the impact here is endless. Because then there's a loop back to Tradeshift, which will also be, there will be a lot of payment mechanisms and a lot of payment integration in Tradeshift. And that's also interesting probably to understand that because banking is so many things, and if you can go all the way to Coders Trust, and we have the biggest pension funds in the world, we have everybody who wants to put money into Coders Trust, get a nice fair return, and then help educate people with debt money. How beautiful is that?